What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fit, Healthy, and most of all, Happy podcast. I'm your coach and host, Josh, here with
his co-host and co-coach, KG, and I'm in the house.
We got 10 nutrition habits to make you fitter, healthier, and happier today, and these are 10 of my favorites. So sit back, relax, and let's jump into today's episode. So my first tip, and this has been probably the biggest game changer for me personally, is that is stop over ordering. Start ordering slightly less than you need and or want, and understand you can always order more later. So when doing this, I always had the bad habit. I was bulking. I love food. I'd always get worried that it wouldn't be enough food. And oftentimes it wouldn't be. And then I'd be annoyed because I'd be like, oh, I need more. And then sometimes I'd be like, oh, I'm not even hungry anymore. There's no point ordering it. But I've realized a general nutrition habit to be fitter, healthier, happier is to operate this way. Because if you really are super hungry after you eat it, there's nothing wrong with ordering a little bit more after, or starting with a little bit less. And I find too, they always like to say your eyes are bigger than your stomach, especially if you're someone who really likes food. It can be tempting to really overdo it, and then there's no coming back. Whereas when you can say, I've eaten, I'm not hungry, I can order more, it seems so basic, but this is such a game changer. The other thing I want to say is you're not necessarily saving money if you're ordering more at a discount. So I find the grocery store is notorious for this. Sometimes I want to dark bar of chocolate. I'll go in there, I'll get it, and I'll say, well, if you buy 6 of them, you'll save 25 cents a bar. And you're like, oh, I need to do it because I'm saving 25 cents a bar 6 times, even though you just wanted to get that 1 bar. You're actually not saving money, you're just buying more, and you're going to end up eating 6 bars of chocolate. And if you intend to get 6 bars of chocolate, you may as well do that. But there's no need to overorder just because it's there. I've even seen things where sometimes when you're ordering out, like they'll say, hey, if you upsize to this, it's free, or it's only 50 cents more to supersize. And like these little traps, sometimes you just go from a value-based approach, you say, ooh, sure. But from a nutrition standpoint, this is how you end up overeating often, and you end up in a hard spot. So this is kind of a unique one, but that is my first tip.
Yeah, number 2 is just simply utilizing low to no calorie options. So especially when it comes to drinks and sauces, it makes such a big difference. Let's use different things such as kombucha, tea, mustard, sriracha, whatever it is, even just any low calorie sauces. There's a lot of great options out there. I know Walden Farms for a while, they have quite a few things. I haven't used it in a bit myself, but I do know that, there was a time where I used it a ton. But I really think that it's easy to overlook stuff like this, and you won't realize, especially until you're tracking your calories and trying to be as accurate as you are there, how many calories can add up from different things such as sodas that are the non-diet option, as well as just any sauces out there, whether it's ranch, whether it's tahini, garlic, like anything it is that you have out there, Chipotle sauces, it really does add up. So if you're looking to get to the next level, it's not that this stuff will kill you, but it makes it so much harder if you're having 500 plus calories just from these things that aren't actually going to fill you up. So make this small difference, and it can help you in so many different ways.
Yeah, I love this one because for me, sriracha adds so much flavor. Put on all my preps, and there's no cost to it. It's just amazing. And even, for instance, like a Chick-fil-A or something, it's easy to just love that Chick-fil-A sauce. It's delicious, but I forget the exact amount, but it's over 100 calories per sauce, and that can stack up pretty quick. And it's not to say I don't enjoy one. I usually try to get one, but if you're getting 4 of those, you're getting 4 almost 500 calories of sauces, and you can avoid that by opting for something a little bit more low cal. So mustard, I know they don't have that there, but it's 0 cal. Hot sauce are often 0 cal. Even a barbecue sauce or a ketchup will have some calories, but it won't really compare to condiments like that. So it is worth utilizing these things to fill gaps. Kombucha is incredibly low calorie, and it's something I like to have like end of day instead of a food or a snack. I'll have a glass of kombucha. You can even do, like Kyle said, like there's just so many options available there. And using these things is a great way to get a lot of value for not a lot of costs, and just something definitely that is a game changer. Another tip is that dairy protein is a very cheap, consistent source of protein in a pinch. And what I mean by this is I'm lactose intolerant, so I do have my limitations here. But even if you need protein, you're traveling, Greek yogurt is my go-to, especially if it's really filtered and you are lactose. It won't affect you as much, if at all. So you do have the opportunity with that. If you're not lactose, gas station, if you're absolutely in trouble, you can get a protein shake there with like 40, 50 grams of protein from like one of those muscle milks or whatever it may be. Is it the highest value source of protein in the world? Perhaps not, but it's a really accessible type of protein. And if you're struggling to hit your protein, you're in a weird pinch, this is kind of a unique tip you can utilize and even add on to your meals with. So for me, lactose-free cheeses are incredibly high in protein. I'll do a lot of dairy yogurt, and a lot of these things will be a little bit cheaper than the meat alternatives. So this is an option you can have available. Same with protein powders that are also just a derivative of milk, essentially.
Yeah, next up, you just really want to add some variety to a certain degree to make things more exciting. So I love talking about eating the same foods over and over again. And I think like if I were to just give one specific meal plan to follow, like there's just no way you wouldn't be able to succeed. However, I do know there is a point of just diminishing return where you just don't enjoy it, you don't look forward to it, it gets boring. And I know for most people, it's best to have some sort of variety. So if I were to give you one tip within this, it's just to have different things that you rotate and some different staples. So there's so many amazing options out there. Even let's just say veggies, for example. If you just have Brussels sprouts for dinner for your veggie option for the next 6 weeks, you'll probably not look forward to it probably a couple days in, no matter how great they are, as much as I enjoy them myself, right? So I think it's great to have those different options and variety things. And even as much as we talk about Greek yogurt, and I try to keep it as consistent as possible, I do enjoy switching up my granola and, maybe adding a different fruit here and there if I see it. And I think it's really, you have to understand yourself. And for most people, I find they have a very hard time sticking to the same stuff. So when you can keep the base relatively the same and just add on a couple different things while obviously keeping control of your calorie intake, it just makes it more exciting and you can stick to it more long term.
The next one is just reevaluate some daily habits. It's real easy to fall into a trap of every time I drive home from this route, or even I have a friend, there's one supercharger when he goes to, he says the best ice cream spot is there. So always stop there. But these things can stack up quite a lot. And it's amazing how much nutrition can get related to our habits. And even for me, like when I order out coffee, sometimes I like to get a cream in it because I find it's delicious and I have to log it. But if I'm doing that consistently across 3 coffees a day, that will stack up. Just the same, like if you're getting really, really crazy coffees, like or special Starbucks drinks, you're getting a mocha, frappe, whatever it is. So it's gonna be 500-600 calories. And if you get it every time after you do something, even for me, when I went rock climbing, there's this pasta I really like to get, and it almost just became synonymous with one another. And I'm like, I need to break this because I don't want to be eating this that much. So really just analyze, like, are these habits helping you or hurting you? And if you come to accept them as status quo, if every night after a long day, Monday to Friday, you have a glass of wine or 2, that's not something you probably want to be doing consistently because that's going to add up quite significantly. And if you just default into some of these behaviors that can be a little bit worse, it will hurt you. So I find it's constantly good to analyze, like, how am I doing this? Am I just doing this because it's something I always do? And can I break that habit to build better, new, positive ones?
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't even realize those habits they have. Even when I used to drive to a client years ago for personal training, there was a donut spot. And I think for the first 2 sessions, I stopped and grabbed one. I had some extra time and I'm like, wait. This is turning into a thing. I cut it off immediately. And it's not that I can't enjoy a donut here and there. It's just those habits that build up. And then next thing you know, you just have to be very aware, especially because it's so easy to form a negative habit. I think it's the positive ones are a little bit harder, but negative ones are just so easy to form. And next up, number 6 is just simply evaluating monetary savings of eating better, drinking less, and just making overall better decisions. Honestly, once you start to do this, you will realize how easy it is and how much you could waste on ordering out, of going out, of drinking, of all these different things. And I can promise you, if you were to invest in yourself, especially coaching one-on-one, that is one of the greatest things you will ever do on your fitness journey, because this is something that's actually going to benefit you. You're going to be able to learn how to succeed long term, and you actually save a lot of money in the process. That's another thing, is people don't realize until they come into the program that we do not recommend any pointless supplements. Once you start eating better, you're actually going to save more money, like I said, and it's just absolutely incredible. And we want to show you that. We want to show you how incredible it is when you come into our program, how the results will pay for itself over and over and over again. So right now we are looking to take on a few select people for our discounted promo. All you'd have to do is send us a message with the keyword best shape to our Instagram at Colossusfit, COLOSSUSFIT. I promise you'll save time, money, energy, feel your absolute best, and I can't wait to help some of you awesome people.
Yeah, so well said. And it's amazing, even just people in the program, when they reflect and they're like, wow, I'm not just mindlessly ordering DoorDash at night. I'm not just defaulting to have that glass of wine or just going out to the bar and trying to make myself feel better, because they're applying themselves and they're actively seeing results and going in the right direction and end up saving money as a result of that with coaching. And that's where an investment in yourself always pays. So I just wanted to remind you of that. Next tip I have is to stop overthinking your protein post workout. Doesn't need to be that complicated. You hear people bringing a chicken breast to the gym, having their 2 scoops of protein, trying to get an anabolic window. This is a myth. Well, there is an anabolic window, but it's been shown pretty much upwards of 8 hours. As long as you get it in, there won't be much detriment. So if you're looking for like a great protein source post workout, that's why I like lifting from like 9:30 to 11, because I go and get lunch after. I'll get a dense meal with protein. It's just such an easy way to go about it. You don't need some exotic supplement or exotic protein shake or whatever it may be. If you need protein post workout, just really say, hey, how can I eat a really good meal? Those carbs will also help you recover, and it feels really good after training just to bank an incredible meal.
Yeah, 100%. And next up is just simply grocery shopping after a meal when you're more full. It makes such a big difference because you'll start to you won't bring as many things into the house, into your grocery cart as you would when you're full. It makes a massive difference. And I have so many different tips within just the grocery store. Walk the perimeter, walk around instead of going all through the aisles. That's where more of the higher calorie, less good stuff for you is. So by between doing that and setting an actual time to do it while having a meal beforehand, it makes such a big difference. A small thing, even just to save money as well, is to go in with a list and have an actual set amount of things that you're gonna get versus just picking up random things. So yeah, do it after a meal and it makes such a big difference.
Yeah, and then next up, a unique nutrition hit make you fitter, healthier, and happier is find ways to slow down when eating. I like to speed eat. It's a habit of mine, but if you can put down your utensils after every bite, if you can use smaller utensils, smaller plates, these are all unique ways that have shown to actually help people eat a little bit slower. And when you eat slower, it'll be more realistic to how full you are. If you scarf down your food, you don't have time for it to settle, and you're going to think you're hungrier than you are, and you're actually going to end up overeating. By trying to slow down and really using some of these unique tips, if you will, can make quite a big difference. I've even heard of people eating with their other hand, and this is a great way to reduce some of your calories throughout the day. But even just being mindful of it, and even a good bonus tip is try not to eat in front of a screen. I can be guilty of this sometimes. It can be nice eating a meal with a fun YouTube video or something like that, but it's been shown that you will eat more. So just sitting down, eating, even for me, quiet, not even looking at my phone, just enjoying the meal, actually will cause you to have a better gauge of how satisfied you are with that meal.
And last but not least, use measuring cups, use a food scale. This will make a huge difference. I can promise you, most people, especially when you don't use these things, you will underestimate your calories by a good chunk. And I had a random example. I got something just the other day, and I just put some, it was kind of like a granola cereal. I'm trying to add some more calories to my day and bulk up. And I was like, man, this is like not many. It was like 450 calories for like maybe half a bowl, and most people would fill it up entirely. And I was like, it's just so great to have like the scale and the cup in front of you, because it just holds you accountable, really. Like even a small fun thing is like peanut butter, for example, like 1 tablespoon, like you'll be blown away until you start doing these things. Like you will realize you've been doing it wrong for a while. And I know a lot of people, they struggle on their journey because they're just not aware. They haven't taken those extra few seconds, and it makes such a big difference. But yeah, we just want to say thank you so much for spending time with us. Once again, if you're looking to get in the best shape of your life, lose body fat, build muscle, just get the results you deserve, send us a message with the keyword best shape to Instagram, which is Colossusfit, Colossusfit. And thanks for spending time with us today. Cheers.